Hi guys, this is Breaker SC2 and I'm back with another, I guess you could say, guide or build if you will. This one is going to be with Raynor, and I guess you could say this is going to be my first extensive playthrough, giving you guys full-blown explanations on why I make this or that decision and why I decide to go with it. It's going to depend entirely on the enemy team's composition, how many assassins they have, how many tanks they have, how many healers they have, etc.
Get ready for combat, heroes.
Alright. So let's find out what they got.
Let's melt some faces.
Asmodon, tanky, very good split pusher, very mana hungry. Tychus, semi-tanky, not really what I'd call an assassin, but... Alright, so right now the one thing they are lacking is a healer. We have Malfurion, and that's going to help us out a little bit. I feel like...
5, 4.
I'm going to go with this.
2.
That's actually just, how do I say this, Raiders recruitment. So this is going to make me a little bit more of an effective lane pusher, if you will. Instead of going for just, how do I say this, blind Q damage, if that makes sense. Penetrating round, I don't think it's useless. It's just, it's not going to help me too terribly much in a lot of situations.
Much obliged.
Why does he throw a fish at me? It's not viable to hope that that thing is going to explode on me. Luckily, Malfurion was nearby to help me heal up. That was a blind shot. I'm starting to see what's in there, but now we got Wacky here coming in as Asmodon, and he's very difficult to deal with in some stages of the game. He's a very effective pusher. He's also a very effective nuker, if that makes sense. You can see his Q, it just hit a huge radius of splash damage, and they're gonna do a lot of damage to this tower without how do I say this? Without a whole lot of consequences to themselves.
Got something special for you.
So I feel like one thing that I can do to counteract that is go to the lane that Asmalder is not in, and then just use Raiders recruitment on him whenever I can, as many times as possible. I still don't have a single stack yet. What I can tell you is, once I've got 3 stacks, that's enough to buy out 3/4 of a bruiser camp.
The mines will open shortly.
Alright, so they really don't have a healer on their team, and that's what's working to our advantage quite well, I might add. But some of them that pick up the slack might be going for vampiric attacks. And now we're just waiting for the mines to open up. This is, I don't want to say god-awful composition coming from the enemy team, but it just isn't as ideal as you would want it to be. In case you guys are wondering what time you are watching this video, it's a timestamp that is essentially slated for March 18th, 2015. So if you guys are watching this like a year from now, it's going to be obviously outdated. I would go with something else. I don't think we need Vampiric Assault because we already have a healer. So I'm going to buff my Q just a little bit more by giving it a cooldown buff. See, beautiful. Wait, what? Alright, well, we're gonna chase this guy down. Come on, hit him, hit him. Oh my god. Well, he's still separated, and that puts him out of the team fight. He's gonna have to go to a healing fountain. And I feel like this... Oh my god. Not with Sonya showing up. Not with Sonya showing up, please. Alright. We got Murky out, but I mean, Murky's kind of a half of a character. If anything, he's a very good split pusher. Oh my god, I just missed. So hard. Come on, Jeter! There we go, beautiful. Alright, so now... we've got just about as many skulls as the enemy team. So now what's most important is we get the Grave Golem here. That's gonna be the deal breaker, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna buff my teammates as much as possible in this situation. And it's worth noting that Raiders recruitment doesn't work on boss level mercs. We've got the advantage by going ahead and getting 62 skulls.
Who wants to take this merc camp?
What I'm gonna do is... oh no. got disoriented for a minute. Sorry, the last game that I played on this map, I was actually on red side, not blue side. So now I screwed myself over just a little bit. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to play chicken with the Sonya. Sonya is a very effective split pusher in many regards as well. Doesn't require mana. He does just an absolute boatload of damage.
Your golem is stronger than your enemies.
Now I've got 2 stacks of my Raiders recruitment, and by staying in lane a little bit longer, it's just gonna get better. Of course, no one's here to help me out, so I'm on my own for this one.
It's all good.
Malfurion's just throwing down his root, if you will. And in some ways it's helping. I had to move back far enough so I got stunned by their golem. And oh man, they're just gonna push without a golem? That's no fun. Come on. Uh-oh. I'm getting looted by this golem. That's fantastic. Okay. Alright, so took care of that. Next step is now to, I guess, keep up the push. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just continue pushing this lane with Murky, then I'm gonna go for the next Merc camp that I can get. So now I've got 3 stacks. That means I can take a bruiser camp whenever I want. Although I feel like I should be with my teammates a little bit more. I feel like I'm not picking up the slack the right way.
Fill 'em full of daylight.
The hero has abandoned
Looks like someone on the red side just abandoned us.
has rejoined
Them, rather. No more. No more, no more, no more. That's all I can see. Alright, so I'm gonna just finish pushing this wave and then head up to the team fight with these guys. It looks like they won't need my team per se, because like, well, they're missing one of their guys. Another guy just abandoned.
Sounds like a plan.
Looks like we got Tychus just raging, typing out in anger. And that just makes things easier. Since this is going relatively well, I'm gonna just build Glass Cannon Raynor, and I'm gonna get Raynor's Raiders, Banshees. And what that will do is it's going to increase my burst potential. It's going to make it, I wouldn't say unstoppable, but outrageously high. And while I'm at it, I may as well use my Raiders recruitment to steal these mercs. Look, easy.
The dead shall soon return.
So I mean, they're gonna have to spend time dealing with this. No other way to say it. I'm trying to figure out what this is.
Count on me.
I think that's like a respawn point or something like that. Oh shit. Need help here. Oh man, see, this is what I'm talking about. Guy's too strong at some points. Very amazing split pusher, but at the same time, very mana costly. Of course, ambulances can hear just how much Raynor is hurting outside, so they're coming to get me. I'm sorry, that was probably a tasteless joke.
You can count on me.
So now I'm just going to continue increasing game mechanics, getting more skulls for my team. Very low HP, I might add. But hey, we're only 3 skulls away from possessing an advantage here. You know, I mean, I guess if I die effectively, if that makes sense. Something that stands out to me in this game right now, at least the stats screen, seems that I seem to be doing, like, I've done the most hero damage so far, so I guess I built Raynor the correct way in the context of this game. But I mean, look at their team composition. It's not that amazing. I'd say, yeah, I approve of Osmodon, but I mean, I think the one thing that's missing from that team the most is a
This
healer.
should be good.
As you can see, that's one of the reasons why they're dying so quickly. We do have one healer on our team as well, but I mean, you know, no one's perfect. All right, so this is a bruiser camp. I'm gonna go in and just kill half of it, then hopefully I'll be able to take the other half without any trouble. Shouldn't have done that. Oh man, I threw that at the wrong one.
You ain't feeling a thing.
Alright, so again, going Q focused here. Gonna give my penetrating round a second charge, and that's gonna help us take this camp just a little bit faster. Right now we amazingly have a skull advantage. I just completely neglected the fact that my team is underground fighting in the mines for it. And looks like we're gonna have a split pusher problem relatively soon.
Golems, rise and let loose.
Alright, hang on. I'm on my way to get this guy.
Time to man up.
Oh, my adrenaline rush. It wore off a lot faster than I expected it to. Taking this guy down would be very effective, but I don't know where my team is right now. Good deal of them died getting skulls, but our golem is a lot stronger than theirs, and he's already pushing down this turret, this fortress, excuse me.
Well done. Your golem is much stronger than yours.
But their golem is already right here and pushing at us. Oh my god. This guy's just ignoring me! Oh my god. I'm not giving a damn, but it looks like with or without our help, we'll be, or with or without my help, it'll be taken care of pretty soon. Alright, so now I'm gonna take advantage of my situation. Well, I was gonna take advantage of my situation to go ahead and slow this guy, but it's not working! Oh my god, come here! Come here! There we go. Got him.
You ain't feeling a thing.
It was a knockback, it wasn't a slow. My bad.
You gotta be faster than that.
We got Raynor. I don't know what he's doing in lane right now. I mean, their Raynor, that is to say. Oh, he's got a nice skin though. Looks cool.
They're on full of daylight.
Oh, that was a waste. That was the big waste.
Tough break, kid.
The stun and takes extra damage. I don't know. This is guaranteed. When you're ahead, get further ahead.
Whatever's clever.
But I mean, like, how do I say this? I feel like in hindsight, like with what I was doing with the previous game, which I recorded, then I cut mid recording because I was doing awful. What I was doing with that game was I was checking out the. Oh my god.
Got something special.
Missed. You missed. Now you're on cooldown for 15 seconds, Sonya. How do you feel? I'm kidding. But sorry. What I was doing in my last game was I went with the one that does extra damage with stacked. How do I say it? Stacked penetrations. All right. So checking this out, I just need one more minion kill to get another stack, if that makes sense. And we'll be pretty much good to go. But there's no bruiser camps or anything else like that to take advantage of. Oh wait, that one will be back in about 20 seconds. Boom! Gotcha! And that's why going for the stun on penetrating round might help out. Just getting the enemy that's going to, how do I say this, get away at the last second? Keeping your enemy from getting away at the last second, if that makes sense. And again, Raynor's Raiders. Working relatively well. So I single-handedly took on this camp. But I mean, like that's gonna help out tremendously, given the fact that the enemy team is already in the mines and they're collecting skulls, and that's it. And amazingly, they still don't have a lead on our skull count. So I mean, it's gonna come down to the golem here. Really, is what's gonna come down to. I don't know what Murky was thinking there.
A hero has abandoned the battle.
I would abandon too if I was that bad. Jeez. I've got an egg nearby.
A hero has rejoined the battle.
You ain't feeling the pain.
Killing spree.
Alright, so I got rid of the Murky for the most part. Oh, snap! Giving everyone a small attack buff helps out tremendously. Like, I don't know why we've got the Tychus ulti here. Like, I don't think this guy is using his head. Like, you don't get skulls for killing the golem. You get skulls for picking up the golem's droppings, if that makes sense. And no, I don't mean shit. I mean skulls. Alright, so I mean, like, that's a move that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. He could have used it for later on if he was thinking. I guess he wasn't. Stunned again. Boom! This is why you go for... Excuse me. This is why you go for hamstring. I'm sorry. This is why you go for double-barreled and bullseye. If you notice that there might be a tank and you got the burst damage to take him down, you're pretty okay. The one thing that just doesn't feel right about Raynor, his ulti, one of them, is the Hyperion, because like it doesn't do that much. It doesn't do a considerable amount of damage. It really doesn't. I don't understand it. It's not worth thinking about too terribly much. Like it's okay. Maybe if you get the second upgrade to it, but I mean, all in all, it really isn't. How do I say this? It doesn't feel like you're an assassin when you're using it. Perfect definition of, I think, a ranged assassin would be Nova, because, well, I mean, there's a cloak, there's all kinds of stacked burst potential that you could go with, and it exists in many different forms. The problem is if you choose one form over another with Raider, it's one form is not going to be more effective than the other.
All day long.
I mean, the Hyperion ulti, it doesn't do as much damage as Raynor's Raiders, the Banshees. On my way, buddy.
This should be good.
Choose attack.
Now this, I don't think I need that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for Nexus Frenzy. Gotcha!
Fill 'em full of daylight.
Gotcha! Don't even need to use my ulti. Beautiful. Stun. See, like, you go for double barrel and bullseye because the fact of the matter is, what that's going to do is, if the first shot misses and your opponent's trying to escape, you've got a chance to follow up with the second shot and get a hit, stun, and maybe even eventually a kill. It's also good for dealing with tanks if you have your ultimate to combine with it. As for Adrenaline Rush, I mean, like, yeah, it's there, it helps out, but I mean, like, I feel as though at some points Raynor is just a one-click hero. I feel like there's not a whole lot that can really build him diversely. This is perhaps one of, how do I say this? One of the few builds that you can use effectively. Another thing that you might be able to do alternatively with Raynor's,
within the mine.
not just Raynor's Raiders, but I mean Hyperion would be, oh, say for example, there we go. I'm gonna use this on Tychus. Boom, boom, boom! You thought you could dance with me? You thought you could dance with me? You thought you could 1v1 me? Well, I'm not only level 21, I'm level wreck your face, son. Okay, sorry, that was bad. What is this guy doing? Summoning an entire army? Well, it didn't work. Tickles more than anything else. Anyway. I guess one thing you could do for a massive amount of damage with the Hyperion is, in theory, if you've got Sonya on your team, you could use Hyperion immediately after Sonya uses Crater, combined with her ulti, the hop in, the and then what that'll do is it'll light up the entire team while Sonya's also following it up with the combined burst damage of her own E. But, I mean, like, on the other hand, if you've got Nova and you use Precision Strike in combination with Sonya's R, then you're talking about an even more massive amount of damage. However, if Sonya is able to catch, like, I don't know, 4 enemies, oh my god, that's sick. Sorry. If Sonya is able to catch, like, 4 enemies inside of her ulti's crater and then throw down the, how do I say this, the whirlwind, where she just spins around fanatically with the, what is it, with her vampiric attacks, then you're talking about an amount of damage that could be, it's difficult to compare. Because, like, you're also talking about an interesting amount of sustain. Alright, so their golem's coming back. Our golem is, like, more than 10 times stronger than theirs. Stun is very handy to have. Alright, let's do this.
This should be good.
Their golem is very weak. I might actually be able to solo it.
Fill 'em full of daylight.
They're like objectives? What are those? What he is here to do is basically essentially act as a massive tank. Now, as you can see, ours is like literally 10 times stronger than theirs, and we've got Wacky here as Osmodon expending all of the mana that he can to deal with it. It only takes 2 of us using auto attacks to really deal with their golem, simply based on the fact that, how do I say this? His HP isn't very high to begin with. I believe it also, the number of skulls also affects the amount of damage output. We took the shields off of their core in addition to, jeez, we're just totally face rolling these guys. Like, I haven't had a chance to use my Raiders recruitment the entire game. Alright.
Like a plan.
Oh boy, where do I go from here? I feel like Raynor sometimes he's a very hit or miss champion. But now we're gonna go to the post game stats screen and I'm gonna show you guys like everything that happened. But oh, damn, there's something I forgot to check up on, and I can't do it anymore now that we are at the post game stats screen, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, we're about to find out. This is my second win of the day, or second game of the day with a StarCraft hero, so that's why I'm getting this much gold. Gonna go for this, check things out. Mechanics, I was like second lowest on the team. No, I was the lowest on the team. But takedowns, wasn't doing too hot. But at the same time, I don't know, I just wish I could go back and see how much damage that I did overall. This just sucks. It's like, I can't figure it out. Now I get a skin variation for Raynor. I guess I'll check that out in just a minute, but first I really want to look at this. I don't know, there's nothing else I can see. I mean, God. Like, I'm not trying to be a harsh critic of Blizzard right now, but it would be very nice to actually have a more intricate post-game stats screen, to be perfectly honest with you guys, because the way things are right now, I just feel like there's not enough information there for a single user to detrive from just looking at this. Yes, we can see, okay, takedowns, great, great, great. But I mean, when you're looking at a game like League of Legends, they've had damage there for the longest of times, and you can actually pick out, you know, which champions you want to see or which champions you see do how much damage to which champion. So that's my rundown of why I built Raynor the way I did this game, and I guess you could say it's kind of a work in progress. It's a little bit, how do I say this? It's nothing that's 100% absolutely clear cut. What I do want to say is I feel like if Raynor and Sonya are on the same team and if they are both used correctly, in, say, addition to a healer, then the potential to do massive amounts of damage, or at least, how do I say this, increasing amounts of damage, in addition to, say, stacked CC and things of that nature, the potential is quite there, because as you guys saw with the double barrel that I took for my penetrating round, I had 2 charges. If we've got enemies stuck in a crater, then I can hit, I can not only do burst damage with both Hyperion and, what's the word I'm looking for? Excuse me, AoE damage with Hyperion and my penetrating round combined together, I can also stun 2 enemies with that. So, I mean, just something worth considering. This does prevent enemy tanks from escaping, and it absolutely tears them apart if done correctly. So I think that's going to go ahead and conclude this little playthrough of Raynor on the mines. Haunted Mines, that is to say. My name is Breaker. Maybe you guys can tune in next time for my general playthrough.